हरि करना।
Welcome to the second part of Module 4 of Intuitive DevOps for You course. So, the second part of Module 4 is basically automate provisioning any cloud infrastructure with Terraform. So, here, so the main focus will be put on automating the tasks such as provisioning any cloud infra with the Terraform. And this part consists of uh, the following things. It begins with the history of automation tools, and then we will expound and explore what is Terraform. Then we will look into Terraform workflow. Then we will understand and get to know the benefits and advantages of Terraform. Then we will see some of the use cases of Terraform and Terraform configuration language, and what are the blocks and what it consists of, how does it look like. So that we'll see that Terraform configuration language. Then finally we will look into continuous deployment in this part of module 4. Then we'll do some hands-on exercises using Terraform and AWS cloud. So for now, let's begin with the history of automation. So Terraform is one of the most popular DevOps tool today, and also my personal favorite. So we will understand what is Terraform and how it works, and we are going to see several examples of doing provision with Terraform in hands-on experience. Sorry, in hands-on Terraform. So, but for now, let's first understand a little history of automation tools. So here the history of automation in the perspective of the tool popularity, not the tool in which year it's been released. So in which year the tool has taken storm in the market, in which year the tool has taken the maximum market share in the market. That's what I call it as a popularity. Based on this tool popularity perspective, I would like to understand, I would like to make you understand the history of automation. So, and this is how the automation world evolved and also got adopted into the DevOps movement. So, but before even the DevOps was so popular, what we used to use, do you know what we used to use? So it was bash scripting and then batch scripting. Of course I was not there. I'm sorry, I was not there. I was not using at that moment, but still I haven't that born. That's fine. Just kidding. Okay. And that was the time the operating system related automation, bash scripting was majorly used for Linux task automation, and batch, that's BATCH, batch scripting was for Windows. So bash scripting we have used in our module 2. So this is about welcome to the uh, multiverse, Linux multiverse, and there we have used for the bash scripting. So if you haven't gone through it, just go to the module 2 and part 2. So where there you can find the bash scripting. I have done a lot of examples. A lot means lot. So and then we started getting other things like database automation, virtualization came in, and the cloud computing is getting started to evolve. So of course, so a normal Linux oriented operating system related tasks can be automated using bash scripting, and a Windows operating system related tasks can be automated using batch scripting. But when it comes to automating the tasks of database, virtualization, and cloud, it's pretty difficult. It doesn't have that capability at that time. So what we have to do, what can we do then came in then we started to look into new ways of finding and new ways of doing new ways of working things. So there was a need of doing other kinds of automation also. So not just operating system tasks like virtualization tasks, and or cloud task, or any DB task, or any building automation. So programming language system admins or operations team started adopting programming languages like Python, Ruby, and even Perl. So if I say Perl, then Python and Ruby, but among all of these three, the Python got more popular because of its huge libraries, where we got library to automate various kinds of things. Even now, not that time, even now, many of the people, they ask for automation engineer. So the vacancies that they were posting, basically they're seeking Python only. So recently I think one of my friend got automation engineer role, and it's with 25 LPA, and what they have asked for Python only. So still, though there are a lot of tools have come into the market, but still the Python is, at least at a certain level, it is ruling, that I can say. Python is a ruler. So, so Python anyway. But among all of these three, that's Python, Perl, Ruby, the Python got more popular. The biggest advantage of Python is huge, huge libraries, where we get a library to automate various kinds of things. And also we have Perl, was also very popular, but Perl was being too much complicated. Its syntax is too complicated. So when you have to deal with a too complicated syntax, obviously it's uh, very difficult to sustain in a long run. So that's the reason Perl has taken a back step, whereas Python is leading even now. So I would say that these three, Python won the race in the automation. Along with the time, we got a PowerShell. So, but even Python stood for time testing. Anybody who wants to learn Python, I would always give a big thumbs up uh, for you to learn Python. So if you want to learn, you don't need to go anywhere else. Just same, go back to my YouTube channel, and there you will find Intuitive Python for You course. I have made it very simple, damn simple. It's specifically focused on Python. It's you'll get in-depth understanding about Python with the fundamentals as well as in-depth concept. So you just go and explore the Python course. That's also very good. So then, as um, uh, along with the time, we got PowerShell also, which was, of course, which is only for Windows specific. So, but from Windows, you can automate other things like VMware related automation, and then after that, the time came for configuration management tool. That's where the configuration, after all these things, it is step by step evolution process. Then after that there came a configuration management tools generation has been started. So the first one that entered is Puppet. So Puppet came in the world, came in the world. The Puppet came in, and once the Puppet has come, and then the word configuration management came into use. So basically the Puppet is the one who brought the word configuration management. So Puppet was not initially considered as an automation tool. So it was more of managing configuration. The perspective of it was, let's say you have many servers, you have cluster of servers, a cluster of web servers. So let's take example, and from the cluster of web server you have a configuration. So almost all the web servers in a cluster will be exactly similar. So the configuration will be similar, their package, their service status will be similar, but sometimes we used to make changes to those servers, and they used to go out of sync, the synchronization. So some configuration file we made some changes, or service state has gone down, so service has stopped. Any kind of configuration related change was supposed to be managed through a centralized server. So a Puppet server, on Puppet server will have the configuration of all of your servers, and mm, and Puppet server is going to apply like a law, and all the missions where we want to manage the configuration will have an agent that will regularly query to the Puppet server about its configuration, and everything used to be in the right state. So configuration state across your infrastructure was supposed to be managed through a Puppet server. But then when the DevOps movement came in, we started adopting Puppet as an automation tool. Along with Puppet, we had a Salt Stack, which was very nice and simple tool to execute commands on a remote machine. So a combination of Puppet and Salt Stack was very famous. Generally, we used to run Puppet agents through Salt Stack, an initial setup through Salt Stack, and then most of the configuration through Puppet. So it was a kind of mixture or combination of using multiple automation tools, and after that came Chef. So now Puppet, especially configuration management tool, and there was no programming language over there. So Puppet is built on Ruby. If you get back to 2006 again, here Perl, Python, Perl, Ruby, and Puppet was built on Ruby. So Salt Stack on Python again. So Python is master. So but we do not need to write the Python code or the Ruby code, in that it has its own language. So Puppet has its own language, domain specific language, the DSL. So now came Chef. So now the Chef came with more manageability and more power to the user. I suppose that's what I personally felt. So we had the power of writing Ruby code also through Chef, and there are more templating and more features. So the graphical user interface was there, so which was very good. It's still there, so you can generate reports and stuff like that. So but along with all these features, it came with more complications. There are too many moving parts in Chef. So you have server, you have the client, and you have the workstation. This is too many to handle. Okay. So now I'm not saying that either Puppet or so Puppet is good, Chef is bad, or Chef is good, Puppet are bad. No, nothing like that. It's all just a matter of the use case or your inclination towards a tool that also matters among all this. So now we have programming, we are scripting, then we have the programming langages that are used to create one new application such as Puppet and SaltStack, and then Chef as a configuration tool. So we have a lot of options at this moment when you compare at the 1989 or at that moment. So and then came Ansible, so which was again a configuration management tool developed by Michael Dohan. So Ansible was written in Python. Again, the Python has come into the picture, and out of all this, Ansible is the most simplest automation tool. It was acquired by Red Hat then, and now you have a lot of things in Ansible. You have Ansible Tower and you have enterprise versions. So Ansible came with an idea of simplicity, having a very simple code to manage your huge infrastructure. Of course, the Python itself is a simple, and the Python itself has come with the simplicity. Of course, whatever you make with the Python would be much simpler. So that's what had happened with our Ansible also. So Ansible initially came in more focused on Linux machines only. So then the Windows automation was also possible through Ansible. It's still possible through Ansible. So, and then cloud automation, the networking tool automation, database automation. There is so much of integration came in the Ansible now. So it's continuously evolving process. They're adding so much of functionality, so much of integration to the Ansible year by year. So being simple, it also become very popular automation tool. So Ansible is the at this moment the powerful tool for automation, and it can handle all types of automation, from cloud, networking tool, database, Linux, and Windows, almost all, everything, and that too it's simple. So that's the reason it's a favorite. So, and also we have Terraform and Cloud Formation, which are all uh, cloud, mostly cloud automation tools. Basically, Terraform is a cloud automation tool. It's specifically meant for the cloud automation tool. So now Ansible, you can do automation, cloud automation with Ansible, but Terraform is more cloud specific automation tool, and sure, Terraform also supports some other kinds of automation, but specialization is in cloud automation. So this is a little history. This is a little history from tool popularity year perspective of how automation has evolved from Bash and batch scripting. So today, to you having Ansible and Terraform. So don't think it will stop here. It will go on and go on, go on, and it will go on forever. So maybe after 3 to 4 years, we do not know what uh, tool will come and take a storm, and what tool will come and take the complete market share. Who knows? So they're sure there are more automation tool, but talking about the most popular one and famous being in their own specific areas. So, and we are going to learn Terraform in the forthcoming slides.